Welcome back to the Chicago White Sox franchise. We're starting today's episode in the middle of August. We're well out of it by now. We're 22 games below 500, and we're essentially just trying to get through the rest of the season. But to kick things off today, we do have our second crosstown series of the year, this time on the road at Wrigley. Got to take on the Cubs, who have almost the inverse record of us. They're 71-54. But before we do get into those games, I just want to address real quick. It's been a long time since the last episode, and over the last couple of weeks as a whole, my consistency has fallen off again. I don't think I need to get into it too much, but all you guys need to know is my focus is back on the Sox franchise and Pack Attack. So the plan is to go back on focusing on trying to get a video up every day, alternating between Pack Attack and this Sox franchise again, kind of like we did about a month ago, and I thought that worked pretty well. I just kind of lost sight of it. But yeah, I do have a couple other videos that I was working on, and that kind of gummed up the works a little bit, and I still want to get those out. I also kind of have another idea that I want to do, so I might also be working on that in the background too. But all you guys need to know is on my end, on the production end, it's Sox franchise and Pack Attack, making sure I try to get one of those up every day, and then everything else I won't work on until after those are sorted out, because consistency is the biggest thing I care about right now. Especially because, man, I really wanted to be done with this season by now. It's June 17th, and man, I don't know, I was kind of hoping by this point I'd be at the point where we're in total control in franchise, turning this team around, but we can't do that until we finish this season. We've got 2 weeks left of August, and then we've got September, and then we can put this one behind us, put the whole Streamlined franchise thing to bed. I think we got through about 2 weeks last episode, so maybe if we're lucky, we might be able to finish the month today. Actually though, before we start, I kind of forgot, but normally in like March to October is when I've done drafts, I tend to like to look around, see what other kind of draft picks were made, especially within our division, and I didn't do that. I did do it on my own, so I'm not going to go too much in depth right now, but basically the gist of it is I was a little underwhelmed by Johnny Bench at the first overall pick. Like, he's good, he's gonna be solid. It's just, you know, first overall pick, you're really hoping for like a generational type guy, and I don't know if Johnny Bench is. But when I did look around the entire draft class, nobody really picked anybody better, especially with their first pick. So I don't really think I missed anything. I still think Johnny Bench was the pick, especially since we still ended up with Jeff Chandler in my second pick, which he probably is a better pick than Johnny Bench. So anyways, that's just to say that I do think I had a good draft, especially the top two guys, the bottom two guys with their potential, if we make it long enough in this series, could be interesting. And then even the middle two guys, their potential isn't great, but they both have starting overalls already in the 70s. So there's a chance that they can also contribute in some way for us at some point. But just a quick look at the rest of the division, at least, Richard Irvin was somebody who was on my radar. Kind of glad he wasn't there, because he was someone I was thinking of picking with my second pick. And I mean, 85 potential is fine. 56 starting overall is not. So I think we were fine to miss out on him. The Tigers, I mean, their top 3 picks all have solid potential, but 62 starting overall is the highest. The Royals, their number 1 pick seems like a kind of a bust. 61 starting overall, 78 potential at 21, and then they picked a closer. That's something I also learned here looking through all the teams, is closing pitchers especially seem to have higher potentials and higher overalls, and after seeing that, I feel like I do kind of remember the developers saying before the year that was kind of an emphasis this year to make closers and relievers like more viable draft picks, I think. But this guy, I do remember this guy was somebody I kind of wish that I had on my radar, especially since I picked a first baseman, Nicky Walker. I don't think it was the same round, because we picked Nicky Walker in round 4, and this dude, Walt Richards, was picked in round 3. So he was technically picked before we were looking at Nicky Walker, but he wasn't on my radar. He's an A potential 18-year-old, only a 60 overall, but look at the contact right now, man. He's going to be pretty good. And then the last team in the division, the Twins, did not hit on their first pick. They got a solid looking closing pitcher, but I think I can pretty comfortably say overall that within our division, I think I had the best overall draft. So now with that out of the way, let's get into this crosstown series. Let's see if we actually get into the series too, or if we get unlucky enough to sim past it. We've got Jonathan Cannon, Johnny Cannon's on the mound against Drew Rasmussen, who I kind of forgot the Cubs traded for. That was like early on, I think. So let's say game one is a critical situation. We've got a 2-run lead. We've got Herget on the mound with nobody out and 2 on. So a bit of a sticky situation late in this one to try and preserve our lead. I feel like pitching with Jimmy Herget didn't go so well in the last episode, if I'm remembering right. It has been a while since that last episode. I think it's about 10 days right now. So that means it's been at least 11 days since I've played on GOAT difficulty. So this should be interesting. Okay, that's fine. That's going to keep the runners where they are, I assume. Who's that? Oh, is that Riku? Kind of forgot who's gotten called up and whatnot, but yeah, Riku got called up, I think, at some point last episode. It's definitely a part of being on Streamlined that I'm not gonna miss when we switch to a full control, full-fledged franchise, is I want to actually be in control of who's called up and who's sent down, because we've got a few guys on the team right now that I would not have had on the team right now. Okay, yeah, that hung. That was bad. Riku, I don't think is going to get there, and this is going to be a tie game. You know what's even worse about that? Oh, he's going to third, and he got me because I was throwing home. I didn't even think he was going to try for third. Yeah, that's frustrating because on an 0-2 count, I threw a fastball about a foot above the zone that he swung at and fouled off, and then the very next pitch, I threw a slurve about a foot below the zone that he swung at and fouled off. So yeah, my fault for hanging the pitch, but the at-bat probably should have been over by that point anyway. Also, definitely my fault that he got to third. If I was just throwing to third, definitely wouldn't have gotten a triple, and we've blown the lead. Good thing the game decided to put this one in my hands. I think we got to get Herget out of this game, man. I'm going to Tyler Gilbert, who I think is our only lefty in the pen at this point, so that's fun. Oh, and they're taking off immediately. All right, good. Yeah, it's just amazing how things fell off and broke down so quickly in this season. I think I said something last episode. I don't know. Yeah, he is safe. All right. But it's just like, I was playing all right at the earlier part of this year. We weren't quite where the real life White Sox are, like back in that point of the year. But for honestly, up until the All-Star break, we were hovering just a couple of games below 500 the whole time. I was playing fine. The team was playing fine when it simulated. And then we just got to that stretch where I went through like weeks. I went through multiple weeks where we didn't get a critical situation, and then we only won like 2 games over the course of like 2.5 weeks. The team fell off, and I feel like ever since then it's carried over into when I play. Like, I understand if I don't play well at the plate, if I don't hit well, because GOAT's tough, especially when it's a 10-day layoff. Pitching shouldn't be the same. I don't know, man. Like, I hung that slurve with Herget for that initial triple that tied the game. That was a bad pitch, but like I said, the couple of pitches before that were good pitches that shouldn't have been fouled off and were. I feel like the rest of these pitches that have done damage now this inning weren't even that bad of pitches. It's just like, because the team played worse, it's like it's making me play worse. Does that make any sense, or am I just complaining? Oh, okay, we do make the play. Barely got it over there, dude. Still, even though we made the play, we almost didn't make the play. We're down 4. Came into this game up by 2, trying to protect the lead, and now we're like practically getting blown out. I need to score 4 runs in the top of the 9th inning to have this game continue. That's not gonna help. I think this is gonna be my first at bat though with Riku. That couple week Riku era was fun. I wouldn't mind if he found his way back to the big league team in real life eventually at some point. And he's getting hit. We've got some life. See if I can have a good at bat with Denzel. Haven't done that yet since we traded for him. That would have been a good opportunity to turn on something. Nope. Not turning on the fastball that would have been a ball if I laid off. Really? Is this necessary? Up by 4 with 2 outs. We really got to go to Griffin Jacks, I don't think he's their closer. Let's try and ambush him fresh into the game. I'm just going to take off with Riku first pitch. Got a bad jump, breaking ball. We're in though, bad pop time. I think that's going to get caught. All right, well, not a great way to start off this one. I think also going back to the first Crosstown series, we lost that series 2-1. So that means that we can't win the year series now. We have to win the next 2 games in order to tie it. So let's see what we can do. Clark Schmidt has had a rough couple of starts since getting called up. So start number 3, is it going to be any different? We get a chance. Oh, we're up big. This is for a cycle for Riku. He's got a homer. He's got a triple already. We've got to hit a double with him. 9-2 lead. We get to see Griffin Jacks again. All right. All we got to do is put it in the gap. I feel like just about every time it's giving me the chance at a cycle, it says I need a triple. So it just doesn't really feel all that possible. A double is very possible. That, I got to have that. I know he's short, but we got to have that. In this situation, let it fly. Oh, okay. If that's a strike, though, that is way down there. Yeah, so that's a strike also. What am I looking for? You know, we're here to do one thing and I'm sitting there staring at strike 3. I don't think we need to watch this hopeful final out here. I don't think with 2 outs, down 7, they're going to make a comeback. So let's just finish this one up. And we do win it 9-2. Colson had 3 doubles also in the notable players zone. Clark Schmidt with 3. What 3? What 3 is there? 3 hits? Is that really what I'm calling attention to? 6 innings, 1 run allowed is what really matters about that start. All right, we got a chance then still. Got a chance to split the season series with the Cubs here. We got to do it against Cade Horton with a 2.72 ERA. Shane Smith on the bump for us with a 4.37 ERA. And we win it. All right, not too bad then. We split the season series with the Cubs. We can live with that. 3-0 shutout. Montgomery had a huge series because he homered in game 1. He had 3 doubles in game 2. Now he had 2 hits and 2 walks. Riku hit another homer. Riku's up to 3 homers already. Hang on a second. We might have to check in on that. Shane Smith, though, went 6 and punched out 11. No runs allowed, only 1 hit allowed. That's an outing right there. Let's take a look at Riku, though, because honestly, I don't really remember how I configured this lineup. I actually think I think I set it up to give Murakami some days of rest from playing first, and then I kind of forgot. Because, yeah, to have Murakami DH, I benched Benintendi, and the whole plan was to play Benintendi to hopefully get his numbers up, to hopefully maybe want somebody to trade for him. But dude, I don't know if Riku's going to be popping off like this. I kind of want to give him as much playing time as I can. 8 hits, 3 homers in his first 6 games. 23 plate appearances, 1340 OPS. I'm going to leave Riku in. I'm just going to move things back around. I'm just going to bench Acuna for now. We'll have Benintendi come back to DH. We'll leave Riku in right and just have Acuna on the bench for now against righties. All right, well, moving on to the next series. The Mets are coming to town. Another good record, another well above 500 team, but we dealt with the Cubs overall, so we can do it to the Mets. Why not? Davis Martin on the bump. Actually, that reminds me, just out of curiosity, no, still a fake looking Davis Martin. They put a Davis Martin in a Diamond Dynasty. They gave him a good card. I don't know if it was at the same time or if it happened a little while ago, but they also gave him a face scan, so Davis Martin looks like Davis Martin. I don't know why that doesn't carry over to ongoing franchise saves, because that also happened last year or a couple of years ago. I don't know. They don't update the face scans when you already have a franchise started. I want my guys to look like my guys. That's probably why Davis Martin isn't having a great year. He's not actually Davis Martin in this. He's some random guy with the same name. What we got though for game 1? Critical situation. This really is a critical situation. We're down to our last out. We've got 2 runners on. Of course, it's Riku on again. And Montgomery up though. I mean, talk about the right guy you'd want up. 3-run shot would win it. See what we can do here. 266 average. He's up to 802 OPS, 21 bombs. All right, it's just screwball, fastball, cutter for Devin Williams, but this screwball is going to be nasty on GOAT. See, I almost swung at that because I know the screwball is nasty. You can't wait back on the screwball. You'd think you would, but you got to swing earlier than you think you would. Yep, and there it is. Fooling me like crazy. And that was a strike also. That is an impossible pitch. That's ridiculous. Ooh, I was still ready for that fastball, though. Hit that pretty hard for not really being on it. Couldn't have straightened it out. All right, take it to 3-2 here. Runners on the move. Ball in the gap would tie the game then. Got the fastball, just didn't get up to it. That's fine, though. We're still alive. Ooh, I think I was early. I think the cutter was a change up there. I mean, man, if the speed didn't fool me, that was the pitch to do it on. That was right there. And man, Elmer got the law. I don't understand Elmer's issues, dude. Another multi-run allowed outing for him. ERA is at a perfect 9. He's given up a run an inning. Martin got shelled, 3 unearned runs. At least Benintendi, though, did go deep. It's what we want to see. Want to see his numbers come up. All right, game 2 of the series, Sean Burke with a 3.47 ERA. Man, he might actually be having a solid year. Let's take a look. We should keep up with our guys. Sean Burke, 3.47 ERA on the season. He's up to a 76 overall, 9-9 record. I mean, I know that doesn't really say much for the pitcher himself, but still. Yeah, I don't know. If I remember right, he does also have like a pretty solid B potential too. Like he might get well up into the 80s. So definitely a guy that it's valuable to see have a solid season. Let's see if he has a solid start here. He must have. 4-0 shutout win. Only 2 hits and a walk overall for the Mets in that one. Colson went deep again. Riku's hitting a double. Benintendi even had 2 hits. And yeah, dude, Burke went 7. Struck out 7, only allowed 2 hits, and Elmer, 2 scoreless innings for Elmer. It's a miracle. Elmer's gonna be good, guys. I promise. Elmer's gonna be a good one. All right, back around to Cannon for another series finale, another chance to take a series against a good team. What do we have in store here? Oh, we lose it. All right. No critical situation in that one. Looks like we got hit around a decent amount. Colson hit a double, though. Drove in another run. Murakami with a couple hits and a double. Benintendi a couple walks. That's something. Another error, though, for Murakami. I just do not understand it. Because there's really no way that fatigue was a factor in this one. Like I kind of speculated last episode, if he can't, or if he's too tired to not make errors after, I think it was 2 or maybe the entire Cubs series DHing and an off day, if only after 2 games back of playing first and then in his 3rd game he's making error, I don't think it's fatigue. I really just think there's a lot of bad luck going on here that for some reason Murakami is just racking up a ridiculous amount of errors. Really an unfathomable amount of errors for a first baseman to make. It makes no sense. I guess Cannon didn't have the worst start though. I mean, I guess it's not great to allow 3 and 5. Elmer only allowed 1 and 2. Is that 3 games in a row though for Elmer? Maybe give him a break. All right, another series against a winning team. 80 and 51 for the Rangers. We've got Clark Schmidt up against Evaldi. Schmidt coming off a good outing, and we lose another game 1. All right, 8-4 loss. 4-hit game for Kelenic, including his first home run with the team. We like seeing that. Another Murakami error. It's really not even worth it to bring it up at this point. But yeah, Schmidt got roughed up again. Vassell got roughed up this time for 3 runs. I don't understand the Murakami situation. Look at his energy. He's still over half of his energy, playing 4 games in a row, first base every day. So, I mean, fatigue can't be a factor there. I would understand if it's a factor if he's like really at the bottom, but he's not. He has 87 durability, and like his actual fielding ratings themselves. I mean, like, I've said this plenty of times, but to make that many errors as a first baseman, I really don't know how it happens unless he is straight up dropping balls thrown to him. But I don't understand how that would happen when he's a primary first baseman. He's got 55 fielding, which I'm not going to say is great, but like that'll have you catch the ball at first, at least. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. He actually has 56 fielding, by the way. I was on the start of season, not the current. But I hope you guys understand my confusion, because genuinely, how does a first baseman make 19 errors? If he's not straight up dropping balls, how many errors is he making on like grounders hit to him? And what percentage of grounders hit to him then become errors? Because that's just ridiculous. You can bobble a ball at first base and still be fine most of the time. One of the more confusing sources of frustration for this season. Shane Smith, though, had a really good game last time. Let's see if he can do that again in game 2. We're down 1 again in the ninth with 1 out this time. Riku on second. Looks like Colson went deep. We've got Teal up. Looks like he's fresh into the game. And we already have 3 runs in the ninth. If we can finish this comeback, that's like a 9th inning for the ages. Oh man, we are right into it. Not even getting to see Teal walk up to the plate. All right, 3-1. Getting Teal on as the winning run with Murakami coming up is not the worst thing if he wants to walk him. And he, I'm not going to challenge that. I did think that was a ball, but I think that barely catches. I don't think that gets overturned. That's fine. It's a fine no challenge. And that's a fine check swing. We do get Murakami up with Teal as the winning run on first. Might want a pinch run for him though if he just came in as a pinch hitter. Yeah, so Teal pinch hit for probably Vargas as a third baseman. We can get Denzel in. He's got some speed. Denzel is going to give us 92 speed on first base, which would pretty much guarantee a ball in the gap would win the game. Maybe even a ball down the line. And I don't think I got enough of that. Oh, no, not even close. We should be able to get up to third, though. At least make it more likely we can tie a game now on a base hit. I was so all over that, though. Just a little underneath it on the swing, and it was a little too far inside. Man, Higashioka behind the plate has no pop time, no arm. Should I move Clark up? Should I try it at least, or is that too risky in this spot? I'm going to go for it. I think you have to. That bad of a catcher behind the dish, he's got to be able to get in there. Yeah. Unfortunate that was a strike, though. Chase? Tell me that's landing fair. We just walked it off. Chase Mydroth above the zone for the win. The steal, the pinch run, the Kyle Teal walk. I actually did it. I came through. I did something. That was a good swing too. I'll give myself credit. Getting the PCI up to the fastball above the zone, keeping it just inside the line. Contact swing. Colson hit another home run in that one. I can't remember if I called that out. 3-hit game from Mydroth with the walk-off. Not a good start from Shane Smith though, but the bullpen for the most part picked him up. Dude, I don't know too. Maybe this deserves getting called out, but I was gonna take a screenshot for a potential thumbnail, and it's just like, this is just one of the things about MLB The Show. Like when you talk about graphics, it's put into the whole thing. He's just expressionless as he's celebrating the walk-off. You can jump, you can pump your fist, whatever. He's just stoic in the face. Like that's the face. That's the face of the guy who just walked off the game. Maybe that should be the thumbnail instead. All right, well, 3 series in a row against winning teams. We lost game 1, won game 2, giving ourselves a chance to win the series. So let's see what we do this time. Martin back on the mound against Jack Leiter, and we got to do it ourselves again. This will be a little bit of a longer one. Down 2, we've got no runs on the board on 8 hits. 3 of those are on base right now, and it's up to Mydroth again. See if we can do it again with him here. Jason Adam might be a little tough, though. I could see his kind of weird delivery being tough on GOAT. That did not look like a slider. What? I thought that was his circle change. Man, dude, really? Both strikes, look where they were. Who's swinging at that? Stealing them from me. And then I just didn't read that. All right. Got to do it myself then this time. Got to manufacture the runs myself. I mean, he's tired, but I guess I'll leave Gilbert in to face Seager at least. Oh, that was a strike. Look at me go now, not challenging when it could have been a strike. All right, there we go. Sit down, Seager, anyway. 4 strikes. Oh, well, now it's Nimmo up. Do I just leave Gilbert in still? And okay, I didn't know if I would have to dive for that. We'll say he did his job there. Go to the righty with the righty coming up. Give Jimmy Herget another chance. See what happens this time. And you know what? That was another thought I had just with like watching Mydroth throw it to Murakami at first. But like it would make a little bit more sense if Murakami would make an error or two when I'm actually in the game using him. Like I want to see what the issue is. There we go, though. Another punch out. That was a good inning overall. Kept things right where they were. Gives us a chance. You know what? I just realized Acuna is in right field. So what would have happened to this point for that to happen? He just got the start in right? Because this is our lineup versus righties because Teal let off and he's catching. I don't know. I guess I didn't see the CPU doing that because Acuna doesn't have a secondary position of right. I'm fine with him in right out of position technically, but I didn't think the CPU did that. And are we going to get extra bases with Acuna? Do I push this? I'm going to push this. 93 speed? Yeah, he's in. Leadoff double for Luis Angel. Man, and Danny Jansen's pop time and arm aren't too much better. It's really tempting to steal third with Acuna. Oh, and that was ball 4. I lost track of the count. I thought that was only the third pitch I'd seen. Well, now it's tempting to steal, to want a double steal. And I should have. Good job, Benny. And then I pop up the first pitch with Vargas. That's terrible execution on all fronts. I get 2 runners on to start the inning, and 2 batters later, the inning's over. All right, we got grounder to Chase. I like this version of Jimmy Herget a lot better through his first 2 batters here today. Should have, nope, spoke way too soon. Yeah, I should know better. Vargas having to backhand that one, and he's only got like 40-something fielding at third. It is going to be difficult as we like continue moving forward with this franchise to differentiate where the real life White Sox have gotten to versus where our White Sox are. Because, like, I mean, Vargas is amazing in real life right now. He's turned himself into, like, a cornerstone of this team. We weren't really necessarily thinking of Vargas as being, like, a long-term guy. Like, he was the guy who was there now. He was a solid, average player. That's what he turned himself into in real life last year. But he's become really good. In our universe, though, he's not. He has not become good. I think he's actually a below replacement level player right now. So we got to like separate the idea of real life Miguel Vargas versus like ones and zeros Miguel Vargas in this world. Kind of the same thing with Murakami too. Not just because of the errors, but he is just not really what we would have hoped for him to be. And look at that. I'm chasing up. I actually thought I had a good read on that. I think, yeah, that is a strike. Like that, I probably shouldn't swing. We can take that strike, not risk make the out. A pitch early. Still a ridiculous pitch. That was a bad pitch to swing at, but when you're breaking sliders over the plate, backdoor, nonstop, and hitting your spots, you kind of have to cover the outside of the plate. I am just so ready to finish this season, get to the off season, make some moves, start setting this team up. But we're I think we're good on time as of right now. I'm just barely past an hour into the recording. Let's see what kind of push we can make towards finishing the month. Or I guess technically this wouldn't be finishing the month. We've still got the 30th and 31st on the next page, but maybe we can finish up this page today. So let's see if we can start a series with a win this time against the Twins. Finally a team with a losing record. Sean Burke on the mound, ERA now down to 3.29. See what we've got. It's another critical situation. We're winning this time though. Oh, this is a player lock. It's kind of confused. Normally we don't come into the game hitting when we're winning, but it's because Montgomery has 2 homers on the day. It's given me a chance to hit his third. He really has been on a heater lately. It popped up in my last at bat with him in that last game that over the last like 7 games, I think it was, he had like a 1400 OPS. Now he's hit 2 more homers in this one. This is not going to be an easy guy to face, though. Oh, all right. I guess that's going to move Teal up to second. I didn't realize that got away. I mean, obviously, we're hunting a home run here, but if I can get a hit and now Teal scores, that's nice. Nope, Teal's going to get thrown out now. Oh, he was... Okay, he's in there, apparently. Ah, yeah, that was nasty, and I think that was a strike anyway. Oh, and we blew it. Of course we did. 4 runs given up in the bottom of the 8th to now be losing by 2. It's not over yet though. Denzel coming up with 2 on. I mean, I don't get to control him. We're watching him here, seeing what he can do. Ground ball. He might run this out. Yeah, Acuna too fast. He wouldn't have had a play at first. We're still alive. Who's coming up next? Oh, never mind. Nobody's coming up next. I'm closing it out now. All right, then. Well, I'm still not in control of this. We're just watching what's hopefully the final out. But Sir Anthony on the mound to shut it down. Oh, I guess I could be involved at short here. Better stay on my toes. Nope, this looks like a fly ball. Denzel he's gonna handle that. Okay, I mean, good that we got the win, just not quite the way I expected when we were loading in already with the lead. I mean, that's got to say something about something, at least. To blow a lead, give up 4 in the bottom of the 8th, but then come right back, put up 3 of our own in the top of the 9th to win it. Teal also went deep in that one. That's 14 for him. Colson's making errors, though. I don't understand why he's making errors at short. He's got like 92 fielding, I think it is. Maybe it's a throwing error. I don't know. Another very good start from Burke, though. I didn't notice that. 6 innings, no runs allowed again in 7 punch outs. He's turning it on here. All right, one way or another, I think we're gonna call this episode after we sim this second game against the Twins. Just get over to our last panel of the season, even if it's not quite the last month of the season yet. But what do we got for game 2? Finally won a game 1. We can win a series early. I think we lost it. Yeah, 6-3 loss with Cannon on the mound. Murakami had 4 hits though and a bomb. Riku hit his 4th bomb and walked 3 times. Maedroth also walked 3 times. Yeah, not a good outing for Cannon. He is starting to fall off. ERA up over 4 now. Elmer gave us 4 innings though out of the pen, only allowing 1. That's a good outing for him. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call things there now that we're on the screen of the final month of the season. I mean, if we are able to stay on the same pace that we were on the last 2 episodes, it should hopefully only take us 2 more episodes to finish out the season. Again, if I'm back on schedule, which the plan is to do that, it's not going to be another 10 days in between the next episode, so it feels longer to finish up the season. Hopefully these next 2 episodes that I'm hoping it takes to finish the season come out within the next couple of days. Maybe if it takes more than 2 episodes, season will be finished up in about a week. That's the goal. That's the plan. I mean, there's still a reason to be excited about our version of the White Sox. I still feel like I have some pieces that I'm excited about as we transition into the next season. It's just the first step to getting to the next season is finishing out this one. And again, like I've been saying, finally putting a bow on and wrapping up our streamlined franchise experience. So if you enjoyed, hit that like button for me. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss as we do finish up this season and move on to the next one. But thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for sticking around, and I will see you next time.